Do you want to do this this Opie thing, him talking about Bill Burr?
Yeah, I wanted to hear what Opie was going to say about because again, he knew Bill Burr, and
Oh yeah, I mean, again, he was part of the group that made him famous. I mean, the Opie and Anthony show, that was really big. There's two Opie and Anthony, or there's two Opie Bill Burr clips. One of them, and this is from the Misery Loves Clips Twitter account. Follow them if you'd like, well, stuff like this. I want to make sure I get all of the Opie clips. Opie denies defending Bill Burr and his wife because he hates Anthony. I need to find the first one of these because he posted a lot of them. Here we go. Male feminist Opie Hughes can't stop defending Bill Burr's wife because she is a strong woman, and in the process trashes Jim Norton and his show with Louis C.K. Okay, so this is kind of a clip where Opie, he wants to talk about the news of the day, and that's good. That's what you should do.
yeah.
But when you use the news of the day to just sneak in jabs at the people you used to work with, are you really talking about the news anymore, or are you just using the news as a conduit to settle your personal vendettas?
I definitely think it's the second one because I mean, it's been a hot minute.
This is like if Howard Stern tried to take the Bill Burr thing and make it about Imus. You know, it's just kind of weird that he goes from there to there. And by the way, if Opie is taking Bill Burr's wife's side in this whole thing, I have no doubt in my mind that it's because Anthony doesn't like Bill Burr and Bill Burr doesn't like Anthony. I mean, if you don't think that Anthony isn't always in the back of Opie's head, you're out of your mind. And when it comes to this Bill Burr thing, Anthony moves from the back of Opie's head way up to the front of Opie's head. So here's Opie talking about the Bill Burr, Nia Burr UFC thing.
I met the Nia. She's a lovely person. Nia goes way, way back in the New York City comedy scene. I hate to tell you this, but a lot of New York comics that you know and love like the Nia.
First of all, it sounded a little racist. But second of all, no, they don't. They like Bill Burr's wife. They're friends with Bill. Everybody who's married knows this. Your friend's spouse becomes your spouse and yours friend.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, you guys got to quit hating on Nia, even though she's insufferable and remarkably unlikable. You can't have that opinion because maybe some of the other comics who were on O&A like her. Well, Opie, I don't give a shit. I think Colin Quinn's hilarious. If he likes Nia Burr, Colin Quinn and I disagree on Nia Burr. That's totally fine. There's nothing
It's
wrong
still
with
funny.
it. You don't get to do this thing where you're like, oh yeah, you guys don't like my take on Bill Burr's wife? Well, guess what? Colin Quinn likes her. I don't fucking care. Whoop-de-doo. Was that your big voila moment? Cool.
Who cares who likes her? It's still a bullshit thing to do to flip a guy the bird while his back's to you like a child, just, and then just go back.
Like I said, she looked like one of the Bone Thugs when she was doing it. She looked like she was like some kind of like hood rapper. Just like, oh yeah, I don't like Trump. Literally, it's making funny faces behind the teacher's back. That's all it was.
Yep.
But like Opie trying to go, oh yeah, you don't like Nia Burr? Well, I do, and so do people like Colin Quinn. I'm sure he's talking about people like Colin. And he's like, oh, so does Colin Quinn. Cool. Colin Quinn's allowed to think cunts are nice. That's totally fine. He's allowed to get along with a cunt. I think she's a cunt. It's okay.
She's actually a lovely gal.
She
She's
seems
all
lovely.
right.
Strong woman. She's a strong woman.
Hey, do you guys like Bill Burr? Cool. Put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. That's the end of Bill Burr.
And in this society,
Okay.
there's a lot of people out there that don't like women in general.
Oh, that's what it is.
Solely don't like a strong woman. Hey, Bill, you gotta keep your woman down. Keep her under control.
I heard that a lot too.
It's a good steel toe impression, actually. I got to give him that. It's a good impression of the show. I mean, look, when the guy's got you dead to rights, he's got you dead to rights. What am I going to say? He doesn't have to keep his woman under control. That's not the message. The message is fucking, most people's message was poor Bill.
Yeah, and by the way, no one had a problem with her because she's a strong woman. It was her being a cunt.
Right.
And I don't care whether you're a man or a woman. That is incredibly childish to pull that kind of like, "Nah, I'm gonna flick you off and I'm gonna just like kind of stick my tongue out at you while your back is to me because other people are going up to you. You're at a public place where there are hundreds of other people. You couldn't find anyone else to entertain you for a few minutes except fucking making faces at Donald Trump."
Like, even anti-Trump people, you don't see them defending her. You're like, yeah, that's a fucking cringe thing to do, dude. Like, that's just a really cringe, childish thing to do. So nobody's like, yeah, Nia Burr's a strong woman. If a guy did that to Donald Trump, I'd go, what a fucking pussy. That's not a strong person move. That's a pussy move.
If a person started chanting, "Let's go Brandon" at Joe Biden, I'd be like, okay, cringe.
Yeah, you're gay.
Because
as much as I don't like Joe Biden, and as much as I hate government in general, I'm not going to be a twat if the guy's like in front of me. First of all, if the president's in front of you, no matter who it is, you're like, holy shit, that's kind of cool that I'm right behind the president. You know?
Someone get me a butter knife. I may never have this chance again.
But the pretty plus more with the no one likes Bill Burr, knowing that he just sold out Madison Square Garden, and then everyone was attacking her. And then the best part about it was that then she said, "Next, you're going to tell me Friends is funny, the TV show Friends." And then I retweeted that, and I just wrote, "Welcome back." This is the question.
Is there, like, here's my thing about Opie. Is there anyone who can take a topic that is interesting on its own and turn it not interesting to listen to?
I don't know if anyone can do it other than Opie. He certainly does it better.
Nobody swings and misses quite like Opie. Like, nobody goes, I've never done this more with a personality than I have Opie. And look, call me arrogant, whatever. I'm better at this than
arrogant
Opie is. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm better at taking an interesting story and holding people's interest. I have never done this with anyone more than I have Opie, where I go, oh shit, yeah, this is a good topic. But I'm bored. I'm bored. You took something I wanted to hear about and you bored me with it. Like,
and
you know what? In fairness, let me point something out. Like us, like me going too long with the Ryan Cannell thing today. I took something that we were making very interesting, and I stretched it out so long that even I started to get bored. It happens, but nobody does it quite like the Opster.
Today, why are people so bothered by what Bill Burr's wife did? Who gives a crap? It's a stupid politician. We should be flipping the bird at every politician out there.
Whoa, bro, yeah.
Veggie dude.
Bro, we should fight the power, rock the vote. You got to fight for your right to vote. Kill Whitey. Like, what?
It's not like Trump's a good person. Trump takes sledgehammers to everybody.
Okay, so cool. All right, let me adopt that. I love this argument tactic. Adopt the point your opponent just made and embrace it. Yes, you're right. He's a piece of shit to a lot of people. So, Nia Burr and Donald Trump are both pieces of shit who act shitty in public. There you go. Good.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
How does one wrong justify another?
I will totally accept Opie's point. Donald Trump takes a sledgehammer to people. All right? Nia Burr acts like a cunt in public around him. Both of them are true. There you got it, Ope.
I think Trump can handle it. If Trump can handle it, then maybe you should be able to handle it.
Did we?
Oh, I know this is not not a popular opinion. I understand that.
It's not that it's not popular. It's that it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. No, you're strawmanning this. Nobody said that Trump can't handle it. We just said it was a classless shitbag move that was really cringe.
We literally all called out the person who did that and went, that's shitty. Yeah. Like, oh, it's fine. He can take the joke.
We know he can.
That's shitty. Yeah. I don't care if he can do it.
We're aware that he can take the joke. Yeah, it's one of those internet people do this a lot. They get really insecure when they're kind of like beaten, and then they switch what it was about. They're like, oh yeah, these people who are criticizing Nia Burr, they're just triggered, but Trump can handle it. No, none of us were triggered. It's like when that porn star was no-selling Alex Stein, and he was like, oh, you're triggered. And she's like, Alex, I'm sitting here listening to you scream at me. I'm not upset. It's the same thing with Opie. We're like, no, Opie, nobody here thinks that Donald Trump is not capable of handling it. And Nia Burr did not trigger us in any way, shape, or form. We're criticizing her. We're saying she looks like a childish douche. That's not us getting worked up. That's us. I mean, she's the one who put the fingers up. If anyone's worked up, it's her.
Yeah.
I understand if I just took my tongue and just started lopping. Or is it lapping? I think it's lopping. Lopping Trump's you know what.
How does someone who was in broadcasting so long speak this way publicly? Like, how is he this bad of a public speaker?
I don't know.
I would get way more people, but I can't do that. I can't.
No, you wouldn't. No, because you have to be interesting while you do it, Opie. Don't do this thing where you think, oh, if I flipped and did this, I would be way more popular. No, you'd still be unlikable and not very good at broadcasting. That's like me saying, oh, man, if I just became a TikToker who did challenges, I'd be huge. No, they still wouldn't like me because I look funny and I say dumb shit. Still wouldn't work.
I can't. Because unlike a bunch of you, I'm not dishonest. The dishonesty of the old Opie and Anthony fan base is ridiculous. It pisses me off because
Fair.
Bill Burr was a huge part of Opie and Anthony, a huge part. And when Jim Norton went off to Hollywood to be in the Louis C.K. TV show, that was a stinkeroo, unfortunately. We invited Bill Burr to be, on the show full time until Jimmy came back.
All right, that's the end of that clip. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, but people change. Like the Opie and Anthony fans, Opie, are now 10 to 15 years older than they were when Bill Burr was on the show. And Bill Burr's 10 to 15 years older. Then, I mean, people change.
And he's kind of
Go ahead.
he's dropped down his he's kind of dropped his edge a little bit. He's kind of tamed himself down now because he's doing different things. His career has grown and changed.
Absolutely. Let's go through one more clip here, and maybe we can get some other stuff done during overtime. Somebody sent in a super chat that upset Opie. It was about, and this is ultimately part of it. I don't think it's all of it. Just like I don't think Nia Burr is the whole reason why Bill Burr has changed. I don't believe that either. But he says, you're only defending Bill Burr and his thing because they hate Ant. They called his wife his thing. Truth is, Bill Burr hates you too, and you know that deep down. Stop cucking. Now, I don't agree with that last part, but I do think that part of the reason Opie, and this is human, I wish Opie could just admit the human parts of him. Like, yeah, sometimes I shit on stuff harder because I hate the person associated with it. Yeah. It's totally normal. It's a human emotion thing. But Opie's like, oh no, I'm just the arbiter of, like, I'm just telling it like it is. You hate Anthony. He's in the back of your mind all the time, and you're taking this as a chance to slip a little extra knife dig in.
Yep.
You're only defending Bill Burr and his thing because they hate Ant. Truth, that's really just stupid. I don't care. I don't know what happened to the Opie and Anthony audience. They've lost their minds. You're only defending Bill Burr
they just don't like
his
you.
thing because they hate Ant. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. I don't live my life wondering what Ant's up to.
Well, but that's not what he said. But you think about him a little too much. Wasn't it the end of last year where Opie said he's not going to talk about Opie and Anthony in 2023?
Yeah, and then he made a whole bunch of fucking videos.
Right. So don't do this thing where you go, oh, you just think that I'm thinking about Anthony all the time. No, that's not what he said. He said that you're defending Bill Burr partially because they hate Anthony. And yes, I have no problem believing that's why you're going harder in the paint. And I'll tell you why, Opie, because you're human and so am I, and I do the same thing. If I don't like someone, I go harder in the paint on something associated with them.
That's just natural.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, Opie. Stop denying your humanity. You look like a cyborg.
Truth is, Bill Burr hates you too, and you know that deep down stuff. Thank you.
This
is just the ridiculousness of what used to be such a great audience. The Opie and Anthony audience.
Time out. I was part of that audience. You guys hated most of those fuckers even when the show was on because they were insufferable. Stop pretending that the Opie and Anthony audience just started getting cunty in the last 10 years. They've always been insufferable retards. And I say that as one of them. You can't just go, oh, you guys have started criticizing me now. You guys were never this shitty. They were always this shitty. They were always some of the biggest group of malcontents you ever wanted to be associated with.
Nice O-face pause, by the way.
Oh, he's coming hard.
It was so
He's thinking about Nia. He's making some jizz in his pants.
great. And now you have to deal with crap like this. That couldn't be further from the truth.
You know what you should do is let it get you worked up.
Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true there, Luigi.
What's with the words and
I
the
wished
voices?
Anthony the best. He went through some kind of major heart surgery. It's up to him to explain all that, but I think he's pretty much said just that. I wished him nothing but the best and a full recovery, but I don't want anything to do with the guy because I just don't want to be around him anymore. So where's this coming from? This is just garbage.
I don't know, your multi-year history of not being able to let shit go.
And
Look-
the fact that they know this is going to get you worked up. Case in point.
I'm
How
not
you
denying.
doing?
Yeah, I'm not denying that this guy's trolling you. But two things can be true. The reason that he's trolling you is because for years you've been continuously showing that Ant is in the back of your mind. So this idea that this is coming out of nowhere is silly. And by the way, I love how he goes, oh, he had his heart thing and I wish him a full recovery. It's like, oh, well, then you're a great guy. You didn't hope that he dies. Hey, I'm literally doing the bare minimum of what you do when someone has a life-threatening issue. Aren't I the best?
Just garbage. Yeah, I'm aware that Bill and Anthony had a thing. And I'm aware that Joe Rogan tried to fix the thing between Bill and Anthony. It didn't work.
Ooh, gossip.
I'm aware of all of it.
I'm aware that I wasn't invited to any of these conversations.
I missed that.
Because I can't get on Joe Rogan's show and Bill Burr won't return my calls.
Thank you. I missed that. That was a good catch. Yeah. I know that Joe Rogan and Anthony and Bill and all these people tried to get in the middle. He goes, and I also know that I was not invited to any of these conversations.
But why would that influence my relationship with Bill Burr?
Because you've always let that happen.
Why?
You've always said, like, after you guys broke up, oh, this person chose Anthony or this person chose me or this person, blah, blah, blah. That's why you're not friends with Rich Voss anymore, because you thought that he chose Anthony.
Take it back a second. I want him to ask me why.
Oh, okay.
Would that influence my relationship
hold on.
with Bill and Anthony? It didn't work. I'm aware of all of it.
Have some coffee.
But why would that influence my relationship with Bill Burr?
Because God's dead and we're alone.
It's too many whys.
Why?
You want to hit it again?
Because God's dead and we're alone.
I went to one of the Madison Square Garden shows.
Did you get invited backstage or did you have to go like the rest of the plebs? Did you have to go buy a ticket, sit in a seat, and when Bill Burr got off stage, that was the last you saw of him that night?
And then you posted a picture of you standing outside the venue saying, loving to be here with my crew.
Oh, yo, Bill, you know, you're playing Madison Square Garden. I'd love to see it, you know? It was more like I reached out because I wanted to see him personally.
And?
You know what he did? Me and my wife, literally front row tickets without even here. Oh, my God, and here. Here's a patch. Come backstage after. I would love to say hi. This was after, you know, Bill was becoming a massive star in L.A. He never forgot.
Oh, this was years ago.
Oh,
this wasn't recently. This was a long time ago before any of this other stuff. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, my God. Yeah, look, man, I don't think he would be defending this Bill Burr thing if there wasn't like an Anthony element attached to it.
and to sit there and simply not be able, like we said earlier, no, this has nothing to do with Anthony. Moving on. But he dug in. He lost his shit. He had to take a sip of his coffee.
Yeah. Bill Burr was funnier when he was drinking, says Kyle. A lot of Bill's really good stand-up shit, well, of course I would say this, was when it was, like, in my opinion, telling very truthful jokes about women. But then he got with a woman, and that happens a lot. And I don't think that's necessarily who Nia is as a person that changed him. But I think it's just getting into a relationship and finding a woman that apparently makes him happy that softened his edge on that particular topic. And then if he had any good material about people who have kids, when he had a kid, it probably dulled the blade on that as well. Look, Bill Burr, we found out in the last few years, is no Louis C.K. because Louis C.K. had that rare ability to have things in common with people, but still shit on that thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, when he made the Eric Clapton joke about his baby, he goes, you got to close shit with the door open or else your baby crawls out the window like Eric Clapton's stupid baby. And somebody said, oh, come on. Would you think that's funny if it was your kid? And he goes, no, but I assume someone else would. And like that attitude is so rare. And that ability to be self-aware and be that analytical is so rare that it makes Louis C.K. truly special. And I honest to Christ believe that if Louis C.K. would have been a good boy and played the Hollywood game and let people write for him and produce for him and let all these hands be in the pie of his successful TV show, that he would still be above Bill Burr. Bill Burr lets everyone else get their hand in. They let everyone else wet their beaks, so to speak. And Louis didn't. Louis said, I want to be in charge of everything. I want to write it, direct it, produce it, run the music, everything else. It's my creation and I want to make sure it's handled right. And Hollywood went, who the fuck is this asshole? Does he realize the amount of shit we have on him? And they thought Louis got too big for his britches. So is it any wonder why when the Louis stuff comes out, comics, remember how many comics went, oh yeah, this was kind of a known thing for a while that Louis used to do this.
Yeah, it wasn't a big shock. And even people who supposedly were supposed to be offended by it were like, yeah, I know he asked me. Like, again, it wasn't like he was forcing himself on people like, and now this is happening. No,
right.
No,
he asked them nicely if he could jerk off in front of them.